Hello viewers, welcome to educators.com. This is Venkatramana Gandhi. In the previous session, we were discussing about explicit intents and how to call an activity from another activity of the same application. Now let us see what is implicit intent, how to call an activity of another application from our application. So here we'll see what is an implicit intent and what is intent filters and what are the key parameters to filter an intent and the common actions available for us in our applications and a small program. So implicit intent is typically used to communicate between the application where we do not provide any target name basically. So then if you don't give a target name, how does it find? Android system itself will decide the best component, means it is going to find the best component to perform this particular task, the job whatever we are trying to do for. And if an intent filter matches to that particular intent object, the system will start the corresponding component of the other application what we are looking for. If matches for more than one intent filter, then automatically it will pops up a dialog and will ask the user to choose the best application to finish his task. So what is an intent filter? So this is used to inform the system which implicit intent should handle this particular task, and activity services broadcast receivers will receive so one or more intent filters depends upon the job you'd like to finish. For every action there will be one intent filter. So the app component should declare separate filter for each and every job it is doing for, and each intent filter will be decided in your intent filter element of the manifest.xml file. So this intent can be filtered using three parameters: action, data, category. So if you want to set an action, we use set action method. If you want to set the data, we use set data method. If you want to set the category, we use set category method. Even through the constructor intent constructor default constructors also we can do it, which will take the parameters like, so there are different kind of parameters. So to set an action or to take action and along with the data URI as well. So the common actions, so the common actions with our applications is like in our alarm application we have action set alarm. So as you are aware, you are using an alarm application, you can understand all these things. The what are the actions you do to perform through the alarm application. So in camera application, so action image capture or action video capture. The contacts application or maybe people application or maps application, for even the browser application will have action view majorly. And apart from that, contacts application is going to have action pick, action edit to enter edit your contact detail. And email application and text messaging application mostly will have the same kind of actions like action send to, action send multiple. If you want to send an message to only single person, we use action send to the particular recipient. And if you're trying to add so for more people, then we use action send. So the same way SMS, the corresponding phone number, SMS2, the corresponding phone numbers, and MMS2 for multiple as well. So phone application where you can make a call or you can so trigger dialer as well. So for that we have two different identical actions: action dial and action call. So action call requires action call permission, which you must declare in your manifest.xml. So the web browser is also going to have action view. So the data URI will be http colon URL and https, which is secured same URL. So here I'm going to explain a small example. So I have an edit text to enter the data and three buttons to call, dial, and browser. Okay, start a browser. So let's start your Android Studio and create a project. So I'm ready with my project. So changing the parent to linear layout instead of relative layout. So, and if you are working with linear layout, the first must and should attribute is orientation. So give that property, and I'm not dealing with any text views. Just simply avoid this. Start adding whatever you require. So I need an edit text element. So the width should be match parent, height, wrap content, and there must be some hint for this or an input type. I'm just giving a hint here so that the user understand what he is trying to enter. So for that I need a string resource. So string, I'm going to say let us say user input. Okay, and I need an ID for this to refer this in my activity. Just create an ID saying that edit. So let's create a button. Width is wrap content, height is wrap content. So there must be some label for the button. So it must be a string resource, and add this as the first one is to call. And I need an ID for this to identify in my activity using find view by ID method. So let us say call itself. I'm not going to change anything else. Yeah, this is fine. Let's create two more buttons for dial and browser. So change your ID as dial and the corresponding string to be dial, which we create later. And this is to browse something. This is the browser. Save this. Now go to your values directory, open your strings.xml file. So we have an editor to create your strings. Click on key. So here I am going to take the values, whatever we are trying to do. Just have a look once. The first one is call, and just have a look what I did. So user input, dial and browser. So click on next. This is going to be the user input, which I named it as. I'll say enter value simply. So, and one more for dial. The corresponding value is uppercase dial. One more to create browser, I think so. Okay. Let us say browse. Let's come back here. Yeah, all of my UI is done. Now go to your activity file and start doing the things. So first of all, load the views whatever you required. I required an edit text and I required a buttons as well. So button, I have one edit text only. Create a variable for this and the button. So I have call button, dial button, and browser button or browse button, whatever it is, simply browse button. And alt enter will import your package. So it's all done. Now load them using find view by ID method. So I'm going to use the find view by ID method for this dot id dot. The first one is like edit and with semicolon. So I should do this for how many? Three more buttons. Just yeah, and change. The next one is call and dial and browse. Okay, the corresponding IDs. So you change the IDs as well. Okay. So the next one is browser. So these buttons must be typecast to button. So just do it for two more buttons as well. And for text view, we must typecast it to edit text. Sorry, text field. That is. Save this. Now we should set the listener for all these buttons. So we have three buttons now. In our previous examples, we have one. So now, as we are having more number of buttons, instead of directly doing that, so set the listener. I'm going to implement the listener now. On click listener. So just go to your warning bulb, sorry, error bulb. Click on that. It is going to implement in on click. Just simply set the listener for all of your buttons. If you don't set this, so when you click it, the click won't be recognized. So just set call dot set on click listener and just simply pass this and do it for two more buttons. So the one is dial and the one is browse. Save this. Now come back here. When we are going to click something, so when I click on, what it should do first, it should read the details whatever I enter here. So I'm going to read it now. Edit text is equals to, so sorry, I should get the text from the edit text and changing it to string, but this should be passed to something else, right? I'll say user data is equals to edit text dot, but I did not create anything, just I'm making it as a global, because so if it is a local, I can access only here. So even you can do that, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me do it as a local variable only, not a big task. There isn't a problem, we'll change it later otherwise. Okay, now I'm going to use a switch case, so instead of if else. Okay, so now just simply switch v dot get id. So I'm going to get an id, so depends upon the id whatever I'm trying to do, just simply I'll do it. So there are case r dot id dot call, and what should I do when I click on this call button, and the same way do it for two more buttons. So when I dial, what should I do, and when I browse, what should I do? Save this. I'm going to click, so with an intent, I'll create an intent. We already discussed how to create an intent. So using new, I'm starting an intent. So here directly you can make it as an empty constructor and then pass using set action. So I'll show the two ways. For this first one, I'll do the regular way, and then I'll see the optimized code. So intent dot set action. First I need to set the action. So this is intent action dot call. Okay, action call method, action call action. Then intent dot, there must be set the data also. So that is in a URI format. So that is tell colon is the prefix. Okay, means like a context or type, it is content type, and pass the value. Just I'm dumbly giving. Sorry, just it must be come from a, yeah. So this is where I'm reading. So what is that? User data. So end with semicolon. But the problem is it is going to take only URI type of the data. So just wrap using the URI dot pass. So now it's done. Finally, what you have to do is just simply start an activity, use it by passing the intent object. So that's it. Now just click on done button, see whether how does it working. Click on done. So choose the connected device. Right. So the application has launched successfully on the virtual device. Just simply enter the details now. I'm giving the phone number as one dummy phone number, whatever you should. Click on call. It will throw you an error because already I told you. So action call requires in call phone permission. So where we do the permissions, where we declare in our manifest.xml file. Just create the permission like android.permission, that is call phone. Yeah, call phone permission. Save this. Now run it. It will be loaded very short period. Yeah. Now enter the details. Click on call button. So it is going to start your call. The timer has started. So this is how we work. And now do the job for remaining two buttons. So I don't want to write these three lines. So for setting up action and data. So in a single line, I would like to represent it. Okay. So even I don't want to call the intent object all the time. Just make it global. Okay. Or else call this outside of your method. Save this. Now come back here for the dial. I'm doing the job. So intent is equals to new intent of. So there is a different kind of parameter list if you see here. So this is the first one we are using. The next event you can set as only action as your parameter for this constructor, or else action and URI. Now I'm going to use this one, third one. The first parameter is going to be action. So let us set it intent dot action dial. So the URI of the data. So we already know that is in the format of telephone colon. Okay. So just TEL is the prefix and just plus the value whatever it is. That was user data, and but it is showing some error because it should be wrapped using URI dot parse and with semicolon. All of my job is done in a single statement. Just now call your start activity, pass your intent. The same way here. So come back here to the browser, do the same thing. For the browser, the action will be action view. Okay. And the data will be, instead of telephone colon, it will be HTTP or HTTPS colon to double slash. Or if you don't doing this, you have to enter in your uh, edit text. Okay. If you want to deal with the web browser, so we must call internet permission. So go back to your manifest.xml file, add users permission, which is internet permission. So android.permission.internet. Save this and click on run button. That's it. So it has launched successfully. Now give your number. So there must be 10 numbers at least for a phone number. Yeah. Click on call. It's working fine. Close this. Click on dial. It will open a dialer pad. You have to click on the call now. So this is action dial. In your application, if you don't want the user to place the call directly, and so use action dial. And now, so come back. I want to browse. So for the browser, I'm just going to give www.educators.com. Okay, click on browse. So the site is going to be open in the web browser. Okay, scroll down, up and all. So this is how we work with implicit intents. Thanks for watching educators.com. Let's catch up in the next session.